Good evening. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Welcome to BMC News Live English. Myself, Shana Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's news in detail. Starting Friday, September 3rd, Bahrain will be moving to the green level. The National Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus announced during a press conference at the Crown Prince Center for Training and Medical Research, Bahrain Defense Force Hospital. The measures under the green alert level are as follows. The below sectors will be open to those who are vaccinated and have completed 14 days after the second dose of a vaccine, and those who have recovered from COVID-19 by presenting their green shields on the Be Aware app. Cinemas, indoor events and conferences, attendance of indoor sporting events. A vaccinated or recovered person must accompany children under the age of 12. The following sectors and activities will be open to those vaccinated and unvaccinated: shopping malls and shops, restaurants and cafes, gyms and sports halls, swimming pools, barber shops, saloons and spas, playgrounds and entertainment centers, entering government centers, outdoor events and conferences, attendance of outdoor sporting events. The green level also includes the option to attend education and training institutions, all while following necessary precautionary measures, including wearing a face mask when indoors at public and places and maintaining social distancing measures at all times. The task force reiterated the importance of adhering to all precautionary measures to protect public health. The National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus today held a press conference at the Crown Prince Center for Training and Medical Research at the Bahrain Defense Force Hospital to highlight measures taken to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. The task force announced that, based on COVID-19 positivity rates, the Kingdom of Bahrain will adopt the green alert level starting on Friday, 3rd September 2021. The task force stressed the importance of adhering to all precautionary measures and urged citizens and residents to get vaccinated and receive a booster shot if eligible. The Director General for Schools Affairs at the Ministry of Education, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Mubarak Juma, stated that remote learning will be applied to all age groups at the red alert level. At the orange, yellow and green alert levels, the choice of in-person or remote learning will be left to parents. Under the green alert level, 100% of students are allowed to attend in-person lessons with consistent use of social distancing at less than a half meter. Maximum capacity will be reduced to 50% during the yellow alert level and 30% during the orange alert level respectively, with consistent use of social distancing of at least 1 meter. Dr. Juma also stated that the number of staff permitted to return to work in person at public educational institutions differs depending upon the Ministry of Education needs across each alert level. For private educational institutions, the number of returning staff is subject to their discretion. The Ministry of Education has issued a guide to returning to school and educational institutions, which includes instructions and guidelines to preserve the health and safety of students and faculty. Dr. Juma stressed that during the 2021 to 2022 school year, Bahrain will continue its efforts to preserve the health of the children, wishing them a successful and safe school year. The Ministry of Health and Secretary for Public Health and member of the National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus, Dr. Maryam Al-Hajeri, highlighted the importance of adhering to all the green alert levels precautionary measures, particularly the procedures related to the start of the new school year. In order to ensure the safe return of students and administrative and educational staff, following the successful vaccination of 80% of adults aged 40 years and over with a booster shot, Dr. Al-Hajeri expressed the appreciation of the task force to all for their awareness and sense of national responsibility in following the precautionary measures needed. Dr. Al-Hajeri stressed that in order to maintain progress, the task force urges all those eligible for a booster shot to register to receive the dose. Eligible individuals can register through the Be Aware application or by visiting the website www.healthalert.gov.bh. For his part, infectious disease consultant and microbiologist at the BDF Hospital and member of the National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus, Dr. Manaf Al-Khatami reiterated the importance of taking the booster shot to enhance community immunity. Dr. Manaf reviewed the study's results carried out by the National Medical Team in cooperation with Columbia University, which was the first in the world. The study proves the effectiveness of vaccinations, even with the presence of the Delta variant. Dr. Manaf added that indicators show the effectiveness of vaccinations in reducing serious complication and mortality caused by the virus. The report showed that non-vaccinated individuals accounted for 79% of deaths in June 2021, during which period the mutated Delta strain was spread. Dr. Manaf called on eligible citizens and residents to get vaccinated and receive a booster shot to support efforts to combat the coronavirus. The consultant of infectious diseases and internal diseases at Salmania Medical Complex and member of the National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus, Dr. Jamila Al-Salman, noted that decreased infection rates, low number of cases in intensive care or receiving treatment, and the decrease in the number of deaths does not mean that the virus has been overcome. Dr. Al-Salman warned against falling into a false sense of security by neglecting precautionary measures and not getting vaccinated or the booster shot. Dr. Al-Salman urged people to abide by the protection and commitment slogan. Protection comes through vaccination and getting the booster shot. Commitment focuses on adhering to the precautionary measures until public health is safeguarded. Dr. Al-Salman confirmed that the Kingdom of Bahrain began vaccinating immunocompromised 3 to 11 years old with the Sinopharm vaccine. Those aged between 12 to 17 have been offered either the Sinopharm or Pfizer-BioNTech vaccinations. Dr. Al-Salman urged all parents to take the initiative to register their children for a vaccination to preserve their health and safety. Dr. Al-Salman concluded by stressing the need to adhere to all announced procedures related to the return of students to schools and educational institutions. The Ministry of Education has issued the updated Back to School Guide in line with the directives of the Executive Committee chaired by His Royal Highness Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and based on the recommendations of the National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus. The guide, which was first issued last year, has been updated to include the COVID-19 alert level traffic light system during the school year 2021 to 2022 and serve as a reference to ensure the safety and health of students and the staff. The ministry stressed the need for all students, schools to set up trained teams outlining other procedures for teaching, learning, preschool levels and special education. The guide covers all school facilities including buildings, special clinics, buses, distribution of textbooks, social distancing in classrooms, hygiene, disinfection and screening. The ministry has uploaded the updated guide on its portal to be at the disposal of school principals, members of the teaching and administrative staff, students and parents. Now we shall go for a short commercial break. back. The effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines and the booster doses cannot be ruled out as they have played a key role in reducing fatalities and complications, stated a top official. National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus Monitoring Committee Head and BDF Hospital Infectious Diseases Consultant and Microbiologist Dr. Manaf Al-Khatami repeated a call for people to get their jabs as soon as possible. Bahrain has inoculated more than 90% of its eligible population with at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, according to a top medic. National Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus Monitoring Committee Head Dr. Manaf Al-Khatani noted that the country ranked third globally in terms of vaccination rates. Bahrain yesterday recorded 95 new COVID-19 cases alongside 95 recoveries and no fatalities. Of the new cases, 38 were expatriate workers, 38 contacts of local cases and 19 travel-related, the Health Ministry said last night. Saudi Arabia's first batch of women soldiers have graduated from the Armed Forces Women's Cadre Training Center Wednesday after completing their course, SPA reported. The center's mission is to provide distinguished training programs and curricular and an ideal educational environment in accordance with international quality standards for female cadres, Major General Adil Al-Balawi said. Women are now able to sign up to join the Saudi Arabian Army, Royal Saudi Air Defense, Royal Saudi Navy, Royal Saudi Strategic Missile Force and Armed Force Medical Services. Saudi Arabia began allowing domestic flights to operate at full capacity on Wednesday, according to Kingdom's General Authorities of Civil Aviation. The authority urged passengers to wear face masks throughout their flights and to disinfect their hands regularly. Dubai will begin administering a third dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine to people with moderately to severely compromised immune systems, the health authority said. The individual must be above the age of 12 and fit one of the following criteria to be eligible. Individuals with moderately to severely compromised immune systems, individuals with an active tumor and hematologic malignancy or recently received treatment for the same, recipients of a solid organ transplant or who have undergone hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. The third shot is also available to people who suffer from a severe case of primary immunodeficiency, patients with advanced or untreated HIV, patients undergoing active treatment with agents that are immunosuppressive or immunomodulatory. The authority added that in some cases, patients suffering from immune-related diseases might not need a third dose. Patients need to first consult with physicians in a government or private hospital in Dubai in order to get their case assessed. If a third dose must be administered, their physicians will book the appointment for them in the same hospital. A minor earthquake was recorded in the UAE on Wednesday. According to the National Center for Meteorology, the 1.6 magnitude earthquake was recorded in Diba Al Fujairah at 2:47 a.m. This is the second minor quake in just over 2 weeks. A minor earthquake measuring 2.2 on the Richter scale was recorded in Masafi on August 16th. India reported the biggest single-day rise in COVID-19 cases in 2 months on Thursday as the government worries about the virus spreading from the most affected Kerala state, schools opening and the start of the festival session. Densely populated Kerala on India's southern tip accounted for nearly 70% of the 47,092 new infections and a third of overall deaths. A week after it celebrated biggest festival during which family and social gatherings were common. With cases rising in Kerala, adequate steps should be taken to contain the interstate spread of COVID-19. Health Minister Manshukh Mandavia said in a statement after speaking with the state counters in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, which borders Kerala. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shina Sultana. Good night.